According to the New York Civil Liberties Union, about 87% of those stopped were black or Latino. In all, there were more stops of young African-American men than the total population of that group in the city.
Yesterday at this massive march that went from Harlem to outside Mayor Bloomberg's home, I spoke with a number of people at the march, including Donna Lieberman of the New York Civil Liberties Union, Ben Jealous of the NAACP, but first Reverend Al Sharpton, who disagreed with Mayor Bloomberg's assessment the city has been made safer by stop and frisk.
But the fact is that the mayor has not confiscated many more guns than was confiscated in 2003. The fact is that 88% of the people they've stopped were not committing a crime. There was nothing on them. So how is it safer? The net result is that you're having more innocent people harassed and you're not collecting more guns. Why have a net negative if you can sit down with the community, sit down with those policymakers like the New York City Civil Liberties Union and come with policy that doesn't say check your civil rights and civil liberties at the door to fight against crime. We want to fight crime, but we don't want to pay it at the expense.
What legislation do you want to see passed?
Donna?
We want to
Donna Lieberman of the NYCLU.
We want the passage by the City Council of the Community Justice Act. We want an independent inspector general for the NYPD. Every agency in the city and every other police department in the nation has an independent inspector general except the NYPD. It's clear what happens when you don't have accountability. They are out of control at the NYPD, and they have to bring stop and frisk in check.
Ben Jealous, please.
Do you think President Obama should issue an executive order? What kind of legislation do you want to see at the national level, Ben Jealous?
Well, what we know as far as ending this program is that this mayor that this mayor can shut it down right now. He has ratcheted it up. We were all out here in 1999 when there were 80,000 stop and frisks. This year they're on pace for 800,000 stop and frisks. And so it will take this mayor, it'll take the head of, it'll take Kelly, the head of the NYPD. I'm sorry, this is the first press conference with my daughter playing with my hair.
Right on, Megan.
What's real is that this doesn't take the president. The mayor can do it. The chief of cops can do it. They can shut it right down.
Reverend Sharpton.
Well, we do intend to go to the Justice Department. There's already been one meeting. We intend to press this with Eric Holder. Holder was at our National Action Network conference. He's coming to the NAACP, works for 1199. If we have to go to the federal government, we will. But wouldn't it be sad that you'd have to take the New York City government to the Justice Department like they used to do in the Deep South? We would hope the mayor wouldn't force that, but we're willing to do that.
How does the police killing of Ramarley Graham fit into this story?
It started as a stop and frisk. His parents are with us today. They started as a stop and frisk that went bad. And that is what we're talking about. The dangers, the risks are not worth a program that does not really cut down on violence.
Tomorrow on Democracy Now! We'll bring you the story of Ramarley Graham. We'll speak with his mother. But at the end of the march, in front of Mayor Bloomberg's home on the Upper East Side, one of the wealthiest areas of the United States, I spoke with some of the young people on the march. All had been subjected to stop and frisk.
We're here from 1199 representing our young workers, Purple Gold program, and we're here to...
What's your name?
Jason Morales, political organizer, 1199.
Have you ever been stopped?
Absolutely, plenty of times.
What do you mean plenty of times?
It's been more than 20 times that I've been stopped and frisked in my neighborhood in Brooklyn, New York.
Were you arrested?
I was not one time.
So why were you stopped?
I'm assuming because of the color of my skin. I'm brown, I'm a Latino, and we experienced that day in and day out. As a teenager, that's all I experienced.
I see a tattoo on your arm. That's a picture of the Statue of Liberty.
That's right. It's supposed to represent liberty, but unfortunately walking down the street, I get stopped, and it makes me question how loyal I am to the NYPD.
Why do they say they're stopping you?
They got a call that they got a description that a Latino has just robbed somebody, and I'm that Latino, unfortunately.
And how does it make you feel?
Angry, frustrated, and that's why we're out here, making sure that we get the word out to Mayor Bloomberg that stop and frisk has to stop.
What's your name?
Joseph Norris.
And have you ever been stopped?
Yes, numerous times.
Numerous times?
Yes.
About how many?
If I had to give a number, I would say close to 30.
Have you been arrested in any of those stops?
No, I haven't been arrested.
Where were you stopped?
Actually in a Brownsville section of Brooklyn.
And what did the police say?
Usually it's a stop that it's asked just to question you. There isn't really a reason given the majority of times that I've been stopped, or I've been stopped as they claim there was criminal activity.
How does it make you feel?
I mean, more than frustrated. I mean, you know, the first few times you go with the flow, but after that, a while, you just really feel frustrated.
Some young victims of stop and frisk will continue those who marched in the streets telling their stories tomorrow, as well as telling the story of a young man named Ramarley Graham, 18 years old, who was killed by police in his home in the Bronx. The police officer who was involved with that killing was just charged with manslaughter. That does it for today's show. A very special thank you to Chantal Berman, her last day here at Democracy Now! Deeply appreciated Democracy Now! Fellow. We wish you all the best, Chantal. Democracy Now! Is produced by Mike Burke, Renee Felsar, Monte Nermin Shea, Steve Martinez, Sam Malkoff, Hani Masood, Ravi Karen, Dina Guzder, Chantal Berman, Amy Littlefield. I'm Amy Goodman with Juan Gonzalez.